Welcome back to Keith's FIFA 18 story. My name is Ricky, and today we're going to be playing Cheltenham Town in their lovely city. Town, I guess. This is Cheltenham Town. I don't know. I'm not British. You can correct me in the comments. That's fine with me. So a couple things before we get started talking about what we're going to talk about today. Number one, well, actually, it's really just the one thing. I told you last time that I was going to be telling you that I would show you all of the league cup, league trophy, and FA Cup matches, or as many as I could show you. I sort of forgot when I said that the Lincoln City's already out of the League Cup trophy, or the League Cup tournaments, because I didn't play that match. I mean, that's not why we're out of it. I mean, it could be, to be fair. For some reason, we tend to do better when I'm playing than when they're simulating the match. And I don't think that's just because I'm playing. I think when we're not simulating the match, it's better. Anyway, I digress. So we're out of that. So there won't be any League Cup matches. This is a League Trophy match. So the League Trophy is between, I think, the League 1 and League 2 and maybe the Championship, but I think it's just League 1 and League 2. So, yeah. No, I don't know how it works here. They changed it in real life for this season. Well, that was not... Ha! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! But because I distracted him, he was able to slide tackle. So, I just wanted to give you that update. Also, real quick, Keith, since last time, it's been a little while, it's been a couple of days, a couple of weeks since I talked since the last episode. In FIFA 18 time, it's been a lot longer, than a week. It's been longer than a physical game week. It doesn't really matter how well I perform here, because none of this matters in, statistics and stuff. But we still need to win so we can get on. But anyway, so Keith and Briggs, his best friend, or I guess, pretty close to being his best friend here, in England at least. I was trying to get to where I could score. They got an apartment, or flat, or whatever they call it in Britain. I should really know these things if I'm going to set a game there. So they have an apartment now together. Keith had been staying basically in this little inn. And finally he was like, yeah, I probably should get a place. So he's renting, whatever. Renting is what they call it in the States. I assume that's what they call it in Britain. Again, I should probably learn these things. Yay, goal! I'm going to run around in circles. Anyway, so they have a apartment together, and also Briggs marched into the manager's office right before this game and said, you need to be playing me. I'm better than everyone else. I don't care what FIFA says. I don't care what the stats are. I don't care about that. I'm better, and you should be playing me. And, yeah, he's not playing, by the way, this match, so it didn't work, necessarily. I mean, it might eventually work. Pass the ball. Run down to the box. Get in the box. I'm in the box. I scored! How did I score? I pressed the wrong button to score. Goal! Who cares? No, seriously, I pressed the B button, which is pass, instead of the Y button, which is shoot. Also, how did I win a header? So many questions about that goal, but who cares? But anyway, so what I was going to talk to you about today was I was going to talk a little bit about Keith's little journey from discovering soccer in 7th grade PE and going and getting from that to becoming as good as he was to become the star of his high school football team. So what happened? So when Keith was in junior high, that's 7th and 8th grade. Oh, that's halftime. Okay, well, I'll tell you about it in the second half. Don't worry, I'll have plenty of time. So when Keith was in 7th grade, he discovered soccer. And when he was in, his junior high did not have a soccer team. There was a local club organization that had a couple of soccer teams, like I think 6 teams. And that he played in a little bit in his 8th grade, but that when he was that was just in basically it was the summer between 8th grade or 7th grade and 8th grade, and then due to lack of interest, it was canceled. Where am I? I don't know where I am. But there I am. I'm open. But don't pass it to me. I'm not calling for the ball. Anyway, so so this posed a problem for Keith because he wanted to keep practicing and playing soccer because his high school did have one. And because his high school had a soccer team he wanted to try out. Well, not playing soccer for a year is going to cause him to have some problems with the whole, being able to play it. So he basically worked out with his former club coach. Club's not the right word, but club. But the guy who was coaching his team was just one of the other parents, but he happened to know a lot about soccer. It's okay. It's okay. And so, yeah, they worked out a little bit. And it was just mostly just him and his coach. Also the internet helped a lot. Now, mind you, the game thinks Keith is 20, or is 19, I think. Maybe 20 at this point. I don't really know. But in reality, we know him as a 23-year-old. So he did have the luxury of video websites like YouTube. So he's able to learn a lot from YouTube too. But I gotta tell you, it's very difficult to learn a sport from YouTube. Like, to really get good at it. So you need a coach. So thankfully he had one. And he, so that year, that 8th grade year, he spent learning to get good at playing soccer. And occasionally he'd play pickup games with basically people of all ages. Men, women, girls, boys. Anybody who was interested in playing soccer in Bulverde had a chance to come out and play for them. And we're going to just run and get fouled in the box. That was a foul. That was an obvious red card. It's an obvious red card. I have been maligned. I demand retribution. Anyway, so, but because he was able to play these games against these other people who were playing soccer, although none of them were that good at it, because none of them were playing, professional. I mean, they were good. They were good enough, I guess. Good enough for him, but he was clearly the best guy on the pitch, the best person on the pitch on these little pickup games, because it's still a pickup game. So anyway, long story short, Keith was able to basically get he with all of this practice, thankfully, he was able to get he was able to basically walk onto the audition. I keep calling it an audition. The tryout. His for the freshman soccer team on his high school, and then they basically put him on varsity. Now, he didn't start his freshman year in varsity, but he did play a lot in varsity that year. He played a lot. He came off the bench in about 80% of the games. He came off the bench, and he started 3 of them because, of course, it's not like the season's that long. It's intentionally not that long. Yeah, I got the ball back. Woo, right at the end. Anyway, so that was basically how Keith got to be decent enough to play varsity soccer, which is the top you can play in high school. We're advancing further in the Checkatrade Trophy, which is the league trophy. This has been Keith's FIFA 18 story. Thank you for watching. Come back soon for more FIFA 18.